guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashlyn. I am the owner of SugareeCo. I sell 70s style crochet patterns, goods, and more. If you like crochet and free patterns and tutorials, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for being here, and let's dive right into it. So today we're going to be making this super adorable retro style granny square scarf. It's very easy, beginner friendly. I'm going to go through step by step how to make a granny square and how to join as you go. That way you have this nice seamless look to your squares when you're all done. If this is something you're interested in, please keep watching. All you're going to need to make your granny square scarf are a pair of scissors, a crochet hook. I'm using a 6.5 millimeter. And of course some yarn. I'm using worsted weight acrylic yarn in 5 different colors. So the first thing you're going to do is cast on your yarn to your hook, and you're going to do that by, there's lots of methods, but what I just do is I wrap it around my finger, make this kind of little loop, and then I stick my hook in the loop and I pull the yarn through and I tighten it. Now it's on my hook. Next thing you're going to do is chain 3, and all you have to do that is yarn over your hook, pull through, that's 1, yarn over, pull through, that's 2, yarn over, pull through, that's 3. Now we're going to slip stitch into the first chain to make a circle. All you have to do that is insert your hook, grab this yarn, and pull through both loops. So now you have like a little circle here. Now we're going to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet because it matches the height of the stitch. And we're going to do our first double crochet. So to do a double crochet, you are going to yarn over, insert your hook into the center of that circle, pull up the yarn through the circle. Now you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops. You have 2 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through those 2. And you've made your first double crochet stitch. You're going to make 1 more double crochet. And now you will have a double crochet cluster, which is 3 double crochets. You're going to chain 1 to make a space, and then you're going to make 3 more double crochets. And then again, after you make that double crochet cluster, chain 1 and make 3 more double crochets. You're going to end with 4 clusters total. Making a little square. One more time, chain 1. Chain 1. I like to tighten this tail back here that we had from our little circle we made. And then you're going to insert your hook into the top of the first chain 3 you made, and then slip stitch to join. And what I like to do, you can either tie off here, but I think it's more secure if you slip stitch across. So I'll slip stitch into the next space and then also into this corner, and then we're going to tie that off. And how you do that is you're going to grab your yarn, pull it through and make a loop, pull the tail long, and then cut it off. And to make it extra secure, I insert my hook into that loop and I kind of make another knot and bring it through the back and tighten it. And then if you want, you can wait till later to weave in these ends, but the way I like to do it is I will take my hook and kind of use it to guide that little tail back and forth through the following spaces. And then when you end up crocheting over those corners, it'll secure that tail too. So that's the first step. Next we're going to get our second color and add on. And if you want to only do one color, all you have to do instead of tying off is just continue this step. Don't tie off. You start each row by chaining 3. And in order to connect your new yarn to your square, you're going to have your little loop here and grab it and pull it through the corner, and then chain 3 to start, which counts as your first double crochet. And then in each corner we're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. So 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. And you're going to do that in each corner of the previous round. So go ahead and continue. And see how we're kind of working over that tail from the previous row, securing it that way. It makes things a lot less annoying when you get to the end of the project. You don't have to try and weave in all those ends at once. And then again, you'll slip stitch to join, and then slip stitch across into the corner and tie off. So now to continue your granny square, and you can do this for as many rows as you want. Like if you wanted to make a blanket or something, you could just keep going and going. But for this project, we're just going to do 4 rows total before we add on our border color, which I will also show you guys how to do. So we're going to go ahead now and add on our third color and just repeat the previous steps, but this time, now that we have all 4 corners, you're going to see that there's a space right here in the middle. So for each corner, you'll repeat those previous steps that you did for row 2, where you did 3 half double crochets, chain 1, and 3 half double crochets in the corner. But for each space in between the corners, you're going to make 3 half double crochets. those clusters. So there's your corner, 3 half double crochets, and then repeat the corner again. So you're going to continue on to row 4 with your 4th color, or like I said before, if you're continuing a color, you can just slip stitch to join, and instead of casting off or turning off, you can chain 3 and just continue on to the next round. But once you are done with all 4 rounds, your square will look something like this. And at this point, if you wanted to, you could block your squares. I don't really do that for smaller projects, especially if they're already nice and square, so I'm not going to do that. What you're going to want to do is make 13 total of these 4 round squares. And then once you have 13, we're going to come back and join them all together with a border color to create the scarf. Now that you have your 13 squares, 4 rounds each, I'm going to show you how to join as you go when making a scarf. So you're going to get your border color, and you're going to make that loop and cast on and take that loop off, insert your hook into corner of your square, pull it through. Like we've done before, we're going to start by chaining 3, and then what we're going to do is kind of make like half a square. So to start, we're not going to make the corner like we normally do. We're just going to start off with 3 double crochets. So you got your chain 3, counts as 1, and then 2 more double crochets, 1 cluster. And you're going to continue down this side. Make your corner like normal here, then continue down this side, and like you did for the first corner, you're just going to do 3 double crochets instead of a full corner. Okay. So now you've got like this kind of half done square going on. Now, if you were to do a normal join as you go, like if you're adding squares to the side or what have you, you would go all the way down this side too and do this corner and stop with just 3 here, and then you would end up connecting it and making your double crochets like this. So this side is going to be a raw edge, okay, because we're going to, once we're all done, we're going to come back around to it. So we're not making a blanket, we are making a scarf. So I'm going to attach up here, and in order to attach your next square, you are going to take any corner of that next square, and you're going to make a double crochet in the corner. So you're going to yarn over and insert your hook into the corner. And make sure the right side is facing you of the square. Pull it up and then finish off your double crochet like normal. And then make 2 more so that you have 3 double crochets. And then what you're going to do is slip stitch into this space. So it's going to kind of line up like that. So go ahead and slip stitch, and then you're going to continue making your double crochets down and slip stitching to meet the corners. So 3 double crochets, slip stitch, 3 double crochets, slip stitch, three double crochets, slip stitch, and then one last one in the corner. Three double crochets and slip stitch into that corner. So now that you've attached your first square, we're going to continue by going back up the side and over like you did for your first one, and then repeating that attaching process for the next squares. So I'll show you. We go down the side, this one you are going to make an actual corner in. That way you'll have that corner to slip stitch your next square into. And then continue all the way across, and don't make a corner in that one. And now you can go ahead and repeat the steps that you took to attach the previous square. And you're just going to repeat those last 2 things I showed you until you've joined all 13 of your squares. I'll meet back with you and show you how we're going to just go all the way back down and then meet here and join. So now you're at the last square and you've added all 13 of your squares. Don't forget that when you come to this point after you've attached it, that when you continue on to the side, you're going to kind of make a corner there, and of course you're going to make a corner there. So now I'm going to show you how we're going to join this whole border and bring it along the other side. So finish this up. now that you're at your last corner, we're gonna, instead of just doing the 3 double crochets, we're gonna actually make a corner here. So 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, you have your corner. And just a reminder, when you were joining your squares, the direction you went was left to right, corner up the side, right to the left, and then up and left to right. So now that you've finished that corner, all we're gonna do is finish these corners and make our 3 double crochet clusters in these spaces like you would if you're making a regular square. I'll show you how to do that. So you're going to continue making 3 double crochets in these spaces. And when you get to this corner part, you're going to just make your 3 double crochets, double crochet cluster, and you are going to simply slip stitch into this space right here to form that corner. So there you go, and then you're going to finish this corner by making 3 double crochets, make your clusters in each of these spaces, finish that corner, slip stitch to join the corner, and so on. You're just going to continue that all the way down until you meet the very end of your scarf. And now you've reached the end of your scarf. All we're going to do to finish it off is finish this corner, 3 half double crochets, chain 1, 3 half double crochet in the corner, and cluster in the next couple of spaces. And when you reach the very end, all you have to do is finish up that corner by making 3 double crochets, chain 1, and slip stitch into the top of that first stitch you made in the very beginning. And then I like to slip stitch in the next 2 and secure your knot. And you're done. At this point, you can be finished with your scarf if you don't care for any tassels, but I am going to show you how to add those on if you like tassels. But from here, you can just trim up your little tails and weave in your ends, and you have your scarf. You're all done. But stay tuned and I will show you how to add fringe tassels to your scarf. I went ahead and took 1 piece of each color yarn I used, so 5 strands of yarn, and the way I determined how long I was going to make that yarn was I folded 1 piece in half and kind of held it up to my scarf, and then I allowed for a little extra room for trimming, and when I make a knot it'll take off a little bit. So that's kind of how I figured out my sizing for how long I made my strands. So taking your 5 pieces, there are a couple ways that you could attach the tassels to your work. You could just slip it through the space and then line it up and tie it like a knot. which might be nice for a scarf since you kind of see both sides, and when you do it the other way, one of the sides looks kind of, I don't know, unfinished to me, but you can do it that way. Tighten it. Or you can take your strands and you can fold them in half, and using your hook you can grab the middle of those strands, pull it through, making a loop here, and then pulling that tail of your strands through that loop. That kind of seems a little bit more clean. You do have this kind of on the edge, which I don't know, just depends on your preference, but those are two ways that you can go ahead and attach your tassels. And then what I like to do is I just attach them to each chain space, like each space where you would have put your clusters on each end of the scarf. Thank you so much for joining me today for our free pattern tutorial. If you like this channel, go ahead and subscribe for more crochet content. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, that way you can be notified whenever I upload my next video tutorial. And please comment below and let me know how your scarf turned out. I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, don't forget to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Etsy, all will be linked down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm sure I'll see you again soon. Bye.